for being here. We introduced Keith, who is on day 2 of. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So Keith is on day 2 of a 42-mile trek from Spanaway to CenturyLink to repay a Seahawk bet. So he's a man of his word. He keeps his word. Yay, Keith. He's walking the talk, literally. I'm Nancy Janicki, and this is Jackie Blair, and we're kind of tag teaming this today. I want to thank our sponsors. We've got some great sponsors. Keith, can you stand up for a minute? On the back of on the back of his shirt, he's got the sponsors. So, yay! And they're on the sign, and they're on the escort car. Pete Von Reichbauer is here, and Mayor Farrell, and Deputy Mayor Gene Burbidge, and we have several council members here. I don't see you, but make a noise. There's Susan Honda. Thank you for being here. Bruce is taking photos. So, Pete, would you like to say a few words? I know you're so bashful.
You know, it's remarkable that this week, on July 21st, 1969, Neil Armstrong said, "I take one step for man and one giant leap for mankind." Keith, today, you take a giant step for all of us, and thank you very much. We're celebrating Neil Armstrong and celebrating you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayor Farrell?
Let's give them a big round of applause. Wilson, the 12th pony, and Sarah. Isn't Wilson precious? Oh. Do you want to say a few words? Yeah. What do you want me to say? Well, you know what? Let's go back. You guys, I want you to go back in time, and I want you to remember that playoff game that started this whole thing. And I want you to imagine that frigid day in Minnesota. And it looked like our Seahawks were going to go down in defeat. And it looked hopeless, and it looked absolutely like abject loss, and we're all sitting in front of our TVs going, no, it can't end this way. And there was one person, or I'm sure there were many of us, hoping and praying by our television sets, and Keith was by his computer, and he made a bet, and he chose, you know, many times in life when we face impossible circumstances, and we think about something that just looks absolutely impossible, we have a choice to make. We have a choice about hope and determination, or we can look the other way. And as I was thinking about this day and I was thinking about Keith, I was thinking about actually what he eventually supported, which is people that face abject, just dire circumstances. And they have a choice as they're in that tent and they're in that situation. Do I hope or do I despair? Do I look at the stars or do I look down at the mud? And Keith made that moment, and he made that bet, and he says, if these guys win, I will do this. And that was an act of hope. And let me tell you, there's nothing more automatic in the NFL and sports than a field goal inside the 10-yard line. But he chose hope, and that's why we're here today, and he is a man of his word. And let's give him a big Federal Way welcome for choosing hope. Thank you.
Thank you. Jackie, do you want to?
Okay, we're going back to the script now. We wanted to introduce you to our band, to our rally band. They're called the Jazz Misfits. We have a couple of Federal Way band instructors. We have band instructors Brent Irwin and Dan Hake, both Federal Way School District. Then we have Jeff Chang, Willow Stein. John Giuliani is still stuck in traffic, I guess, someplace. And Dave Hoskins. So they're giving of their time and their talents for us today. Thank you very much. Then we have the Todd Beamer cheer crew. 11 members from 9th to 12th grade. I guess we don't have quite 11 members, do we? But close. The drummers are from Bellarmine. Their names are Todd Motorelli. Ian Marshall, Andrew Gonzalez. They're from Bellarmine. Okay, Nancy. I guess it's my turn again. So, Jim has already had an opportunity to talk. Okay. We now have Deputy Mayor Jean Burbidge. Now, Jean has been a supporter of improving human services in our area in Federal Way for about 25 years. So she's been on our side since we started almost 5 years. We really appreciate her support. So Jean, would you like to give us some
Just a word or two. Is there? Here, I think you got that. There you go. Hi. I am so delighted to see all of you here, and I love the analogy of the comparison of sports with all the efforts here, because indeed hope and dedication are so essential in both situations. You know, if you've got an important game, if you don't have hope and you don't have dedication and fortitude, that game is going nowhere. And that's certainly true with the kind of effort that has taken place and continues in our city, and has been shown in the past with all the work that has been done in so many areas. Human services in particular, we have so many grassroots programs that have been so important for our community. And now we have the Day Center, another one that has experienced so much work and dedication to get it to move forward, to bring the hope and dignity to the folks who are experiencing homelessness. I don't even like to think about it, but I do think about it at times when I unlock my door at my house and I know that I can go inside and I can sit in a chair and read the paper. I can use the phone. I can take a shower. I can wash my clothes. And the folks who are without those resources, it's hard to imagine how they experience their day-to-day lives. This day center is going to provide another step, giving them the boost that they need to connect with the resources, many of which already exist and are there to offer those steps, that path forward. So thank you so much, all of you who have worked so hard on this. And I know that Federal Way, being the generous community that we are, we will all step forward and do what we can to support that effort. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean. Since Keith is raising money to help homeless services, and our team who's put this together represents the Day Center, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about the Day Center. It's a pilot project for King County that will be located in Federal Way, which will serve individuals and families without homes, providing them with personal hygiene services, showers, laundry, professional care. We'll have case managers who can directly connect them to nearby services. For example, the multi-service center is nearby. They can be sent over there. Valley Cities is nearby. They can be directed to Valley Cities. The health department is right up the street. So don't think of this. This is not a duplication of services. It's a hub and a place to gather people in, let them take a shower, do laundry, and have social life, and also be directed to other nearby services. So we hope to open in September, and so yay! So can you step up here, please? How are you feeling? Good. You're looking good.
Get them
more Tiger Balm on my legs. I'm ready to go again.
Do you want to say a few comments for us?
Oh yeah, sure. Doing this walk sure has put a lot of passion in this purpose of the daycare center. I've never done this before. I apologize. I was hamming it up on Facebook. I guess I got to do this here. But again, I'm finding this walk is really giving me some passion and a purpose why I should do this. I'm really thank you for you guys helping me have a reason, a purpose to do this walk, to jump on board on my foot in the mouth comment on Facebook about getting up to this Seahawks Stadium from my house. But I think it's a good cause. Again, I'm seeing the situation with the homeless daily on my commute from the Spanaway to Seattle daily, and it's getting overwhelming where we need to have a need for to help them. Even though we're, like she said, we have a house to go to ourselves, but they need some help to get to the next step. I know that the cause is going to happen, and I'd like to see this happen, this project happen in every region, everywhere, every town, because every place needs one. Even if it's just a room, doesn't matter. Somebody needs help, and that's what this nation's all built about, is helping each other. Again, I got some thank yous I want to spread out as well for the purpose of why we're here. Is again, thank you to the committee for letting me come on board to give you a good reason to donate. Bring in the money, right? There's a basket right here. Bring in the cash, whatever you got. A penny will do. We don't care, right? Again, I want to help my partner in crime and his wife, Greg. I need some companion to talk to because it gets kind of boring listening to trucks and trailers and everything going by us. And Jerry, thanks for the room yesterday. I needed that, but he's the one that got me connected to Greg, Greg's connected to the committee. So I really appreciate that. Love you, man. All right. So I guess I'm done. I'm blabbing too much.
I know, Jackie's coming up. But what was it like to go out and ask for sponsors?
Oh, thank you. Well, after I met the committee a few months ago, or about a month ago, I got the brochures, the flyers, and started basically handing those out to all the companies up Canyon Road and up through the route that I was going to do. And it's kind of amazing the fact that every time I went up to the front clerk or whoever was there to take people in, is how easy it was for them just to ignore me. They just ignored my cause and my purpose of being there. And at that present time, I truly felt like I was homeless at that time. It was pretty disappointing how they just wanted to push you aside and go to the next customer behind you and not give you any kind of attention at all for what this whole cause was about. I mean, they had a great opportunity for publicity and everything else that they had, but I can see that they probably may have ignored it. And that's a disappointment, because every company, every corporation should jump on board to take care of their community. So that's what thank you for reminding me about that.
Thank you, Keith. Now we have so we have to get our cheerleaders someplace. Okay, if the cheerleaders need to go, I guess it's a. Oh, okay, in a little bit. All right. What we wanted to, Jean has talked about how blessed we all are because we can take a shower, we can walk into our homes and wash our clothes, take care of all of our daily needs. Now, I'd like you to meet somebody who had problems, who was homeless for a while, and now is in a better place. Rodney Castro is one of our community people.
Good morning. I'll give you a little background about what I went through, and maybe you can feel what they feel. 2014. 2014, I went homeless. I went homeless by choice. My life was chaotic. I needed to disassociate myself with a lot of things that were going on. My first night being homeless, I was in Kent. I slept underneath a bush to get out of the rain, get out of the wind. I worked myself up here to Federal Way because I'm familiar with Federal Way. Now I want you to picture this. Day after day, you're sleeping on the sidewalk. You're finding places where you won't be harassed. Your mattress is a cardboard box. Your blanket is cardboard to keep the wind off of you. Every single day, you're wearing the same clothes. You are not showering. You are below human. People look at you. You carry a backpack. They look down upon you. Or they don't even see you because you're like part of the scenery. They ignore you. The hardest part for me was during the holidays. I chose to not let my family know what I was going through, but others didn't. Their families knew. They walk around town, nothing's happened. They can't go anywhere without being harassed to leave. It is cold, it is windy, it is raining. They have no place to go. They have no hope at all. So they stand around dejectedly watching other people, other families, look at them like they're not there. They go have their dinners. They go have their fun time, laughter, joy. And these homeless, my brothers, my sisters, are standing there watching this. A lot of them question why. There is no why. It's just the way it is. This day center will mean so much to this homeless community. So much. It gives them a chance to be human again. It gives them a chance to have clean clothes, clothes they can wash. They can shower, they won't smell. It gives them a chance to build up confidence. It also, maybe also, pushes them or guides them to take the first steps into being normal. For we are all human. We are not perfect. We never were. None of us are. You can go home, you can shower. I took that for granted when I wasn't homeless. Being able to go home and take a shower, to cook my food, to sit down and watch TV, watch the news, watch a sporting event on my TV, to share joy, to share laughter. They don't have anybody but themselves. To coin a phrase that was said earlier, but applies to us here in Federal Way. It is a small step for Federal Way, the city of Federal Way, because of the fact that there's so much more to be done to benefit others. But it's a really, really huge leap for the homeless community. And it's also for us as a community as a whole. Thank you.
We're very fortunate here in Federal Way because Catholic Community Services is going to operate this program. They have over 30 years of expertise helping homeless individuals connect with services for housing, physical and mental health, substance abuse, and jobs. It was established, CCS was established over 30 years ago, and they have over 98 years ago. And they have 98 years of service helping improve lives of vulnerable children, elderly, homeless, disabled vets, etc. They are very knowledgeable and credible, and in this area, they've partnered with many service providers. They've been on doing case management for Fusion. They've helped us manage the Reach Out program, overnight shelters for men and women, and now they'll be operating, the Federal Way Day Center. So they know what they're doing. They help keep everything going, keep everything in line. So I'd like to introduce the Agency Director for Catholic Community Services, Bill Hollerman, to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everybody. Just a thank you very much, Keith, to you for taking this on and for having the, all the support that this is going to have for the Day Center. A tiny bit about the history. We're really all here because a group of church folks and community folks and business folks got together a couple of years ago and saw what was happening as housing prices have risen and more folks are struggling to find housing and homeless, or becoming homeless. Said, let's get together and do something about a day center. And that group of folks has been meeting for 2 years and raising money and doing an incredible job. And they brought that care and concern to the mayor who came out and the city council, and they jumped on board and said, sure, we're going to do something to help. So that's the genesis of how we got here. And that energy and that passion is what brought us to a place deciding that, we need a day center. We need a place where people can come to get the basic hygiene services, but more importantly than that, also get connected to the resources that there are in Federal Way. Great agencies like Valley Cities and the Multi-Service Center and many, many more. So I want to thank Nancy and just this group of folks who have been really the moral voice and the push for this. And then I want to leave you just with a quick story. I was sitting in a park a couple of years ago with a guy who had a backpack on, and I was talking with him. And as we were talking, another person walked by who was having a tough day, a mentally ill person who was talking to themselves and answering themselves, obviously mentally ill. And as the person was talking to me, he said, I'm about 6 months from being that person. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he says, well, I've worked most of my life, but I've been homeless about 2 months. And already I'm losing more and more of myself as I'm out here. And I see that person, and I think that that's going to be me in about another 6 months if I don't get some help. But when I think about the Day Center, I think of the folks like that who have hit homelessness, and they need that base, they need that anchor. And that's what he talked about. I need a place to kind of hold stuff together, get some help, so I can rebuild my life. And if I don't get that, I'm going to spiral. And I just thought, wow, this is a person watching that happen to themselves, conscious enough, but still needs help to get to that next step. That, to me, is what the Day Center is a place for. Rodney talked about it's a place where you know people's names, where you meet somebody where they are, you greet them, and you start to build a relationship from which this community can wrap around that person and work that person with that person to the life that they need, the life that they want, and the life that they really have inside of them. So that's the gift and the hope, I think, the hope that you talked about for the Day Center. So you're all here to support that. We want to just thank you for that on behalf of Catholic Community Services and everyone. If you really want to hope in a concrete way, there's people with baskets here, and they will take your hope in all kinds of ways, checks or cash or anything like that. The Day Center's raised a lot of money, but we have a whole lot more to go to do this for 3 years. So thank you so much for being here, and if you're able to make a contribution, we would love to have that. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, Wilson, the pony, says enough speeches, so Wilson's going to exit. Let's yell for Wilson on his way out. He's going to be available for photos, too. So thank you, Sarah and Wilson. I'm about to wrap this up, so just a few more comments. I wanted to acknowledge and point out Shelley Pauls is, where are you, Shelley? Shelley. Anyway, Shelley works for Alaska Airlines, and she's on the board of the Farmers Market. We want to thank the Farmers Market for being a generous sponsor with us. Shelley has single-handedly organized some games, Seahawk games. There's a photo backdrop where you can take a team photo or a family photo. She's got baskets. Let's see. She's got a Seahawk basket, a baby Seahawk basket, Farmers Market basket, and a Lowe's $25 gift basket. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece or 6 for $5. So go over that way and buy some raffle tickets. Maybe you'll win. I hope you do. Thanks to Steve McNay for his help in getting this done today. We really appreciate it, Steve. And to all our sponsors, again, I don't want to list everybody because we've got a lot, but you'll see them in the thank you ad that's coming out. They're listed here. And stick around to have some fun. Thank you for coming today. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the cheerleaders. They're going to do a routine. Okay. Come do a routine. Okay. I want to introduce our team that's put this together. I'm lost my sheet, so I'm going by memory here. We've got Jackie Blair, we've got Martin Petrich, who's leading our effort, and Lynn Ormsby, who are leading the effort. We've got our fundraiser. Ron Secreto's name's been all over town. Here he is, Ron Secreto in June. Sue Drake, Greg and his wife. Gosh, who am I forgetting? I hope nobody. I said Lynn. Julie, where's Julie Hiller? Wherever Julie is. Thank you, Julie. Okay, there she is. Lucia Faithful and Bob Dickinson. Okay, and Rita Keogh is down here. They're collecting donations. Peggy Horner, Ralph Horner is driving the escort car that has identification on it. Ralph and Peggy are here, so thank you for your help. Hi. Okay, can I wrap this up? Okay, music. Go for it.